Good morning from the National Weather Service in Raleigh. It's Nick Petro with your Thursday morning briefing here. It's 9:30 on the 29th of January. We're going to talk about this winter storm here. And I'm starting out at our webpage at weather.gov/Raleigh. If it's weather you love, it's weather.gov. Just slap on the word Raleigh after the slash at weather.gov, and that'll take you to our page here. It covers all of central North Carolina. So right at the top where it says follow this link to our comprehensive winter storm briefing. So if you click on that, that takes you to our briefing. Everybody should have these, everybody who's our core partners, public safety partners and media will have this in your inbox. For folks who aren't on our email list, that's the easiest way to get it, just the way I just showed you there. So what's changed? A winter storm watch has been issued for all of central North Carolina, actually for much of the state. And you know, that second bullet there, I can't emphasize that enough. And you're going to hear me say this several times in the briefing, is the potential exists for significant snowfall amounts, but where these amounts occur is highly uncertain. Okay, so there's going to be places that get more snow maybe than what we have forecast, and there'll be places that get far less snow than what we have forecast. Because of the nature of the snow, it's more banded in nature, and when there's going to be bands, that means there's breaks between the bands. If you get under a band, you get heavy snow. If you're in between those bands, you get very little, not much. I'm not saying no snow, but you get far less than if you're under the band. Okay, so here's the hazard: snow, hazardous travel, strong gusty winds, power outages, fallen trees, extreme cold, and black ice. So, you know, this pretty much has all the elements. The only thing that it doesn't have, which is somewhat unusual for this part of the country, is mixed precipitation types. I can count on one finger how many times I have seen it start and end is the same precip type in terms of a winter storm here in central North Carolina. I can only think of one event, at least as long as I've been here. There's almost always some types of other precip types mixing in. But the degree to which it's cold and the fact that the low is developing and staying to our south and east will help preclude the warm air from coming in aloft. Okay. Now, one thing that this storm has, or will have, that last week's storm didn't have, are the gusty winds. So it's almost like we're trading ice for wind with this. You know, it's going to be really windy. Okay, so gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. There's other places across the state that might see gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. For example, on the Outer Banks, there's going to be wind gust 55, 60 miles per hour. Can you imagine that with heavy snow falling? There could be, you know, mountaintop locations in the far western part of the state that see gusts as high as 55 miles per hour on Saturday. So, you know, with that, there could be some downed trees and power outages. Okay. Obviously, the extreme cold, that's been a message we've been conveying. It seems like for weeks now, we are stuck in this cold snap. Doesn't seem like that's going to break anytime soon. Black ice will be a concern subsequent nights after this is over, and clearly hazardous travel. All right, so this slide here is our forecast amounts. Now, this is a deterministic forecast. This isn't the range, and I'll show you the range of possibilities here shortly. But this range here, there's going to be places that might get a little more than this, and there could be places that get less than this. Okay, so the dashed line is, you know, where we think there could be some local higher amounts. But I've seen models that show in that dashed area less amounts. I've seen several models, several reliable models that show the dashed line getting less snow because it gets into a break. So that's why we highlighted it yellow, because that is probably the area with the greatest uncertainty. Okay, it could be more, it could be less, you know, and there's going to be some folks who are disappointed that they say, man, I didn't get as much, you know, we're you know, forecasts were showing all this snow, we didn't get it. Yeah, and those places will occur. I just don't know where, and they're going to be very, very localized. On the flip side, there's going to be places that get under these slow moving bands that are going to be like, wait a minute, they weren't calling for this much snow. Right? And that's hard to nail down at this point in time. Okay, so this is a way to convey the wind gusts. Again, I think I've already elaborated on that. And then bitter cold temperatures. It seems like we've been saying this, sound like a broken record for the last week or two, how cold these temperatures are. We're going to be pretty much stuck in the 20s day and night on Saturday. Sunday, once the storm moves out, we might get into maybe the lower 30s across the south. But this is a cold air mass, and it's going to stay cold, even into Sunday night and Monday. Look at these readings Sunday night in the teens, and some dangerous wind chills expected there Saturday night into Sunday morning, and Sunday night into Monday morning. So looking at the quick timeline here, you can see things are really going to go downhill Friday night into Saturday morning. There are some places, particularly across the Triad region, that could see snow breaking out as early as late Friday. So we have highlighted that yellow in case that one of those initial bands does sneak in there late on Friday. Wait, tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow evening. Here we go. It's almost showtime, so to speak. Just want to remind folks that it's tomorrow. So anyway, by late tomorrow, folks in the Triad could be getting involved in this already. But for the bulk of Central North Carolina, it's going to be Saturday into early Sunday morning. Okay, so definitely take a look at this grid block here. At your convenience to get a sense of timing. But clearly this weekend is going to be high impact, and then those impacts will continue early next week with the cold. Okay, so again, key messages: a winter storm watch for all of Central North Carolina starting 4 p.m. Friday, because the snow could move in as early as 4 p.m. Friday until Saturday afternoon when the snow moves out. Widespread amounts of 6+ inches are expected. An axis of significant snow amounts will be possible, but where this occurs remain highly uncertain and is susceptible to changes in area and magnitude with subsequent forecast updates. That's the caveat. And you know what? I didn't type it in here, but I will add a sort of a sub caveat to that, and that there could be places with less snow too. Okay, so I saw some models that showed a particular area along the I-95 corridor that misses out on a lot of the snow. I'm not saying I believe that model. I'm just saying that there's models out there that show some places getting far less snow. So we are far from locking in the how much with this storm. Okay, still lots of opportunity for things to change. All right, the most probable location for those more significant amounts will be east of I-95. And then a prolonged period of well below normal temperature. Let me back up to the previous bullet. Why east of I-95? Because it's closer to the low and closer to the where all the action and the deepening low and the wind and the precip formation zone. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. And then of course prolonged below normal temperatures, wind chills single digits to teens Friday night until Monday afternoon. Lowest wind chills Saturday night and even Sunday night. So that's the way we see this place playing out here, and I will get into some more info here, but I got to update this slide, so my apologies here. But we're going to be updating this slide set throughout the day today, really throughout the storm. Okay, so those are the takeaways for this particular snow event.